likes, comments. You know, you want to see my work. It's on Instagram. My Instagram is BAR _ dynasty. You can check me out there. Now, in my last video, I explained to you that I had just ordered the XO trimmer and clipper set. And I want to, before I actually do review, I don't do the unboxing thing. Everything, the same thing is in every box. I'm not gonna read you the back of the label. It's 70. What you really want to know is how good is it? Does it cut good? Does it feel good? Is the trimmers hitters? Make sure or is it zero? Can you zero gap them? Can you make sure you don't cut nobody's hair, cut nobody's skin, nothing like that? That's what you want to know. And the bottom line is this: here's another thing I think you should know. Would you spend your hard-earned money on that clipper or that trimmer? His prices are right. I'm not even going to sit here and lie to you. I'm talking about the Pissed Off Barber, tpob. His prices are right. Now, this got a metal housing on both the trimmer and the clipper. It feels good in your hands. That's the main thing. It feels good in your hands. And now the difference between what I've seen between the X and the XO is, I think the X has a flea. Their handle, or what you call their lever. This one, the XO clicks. The other one is flowing. It doesn't click on the X. But they're both very, very, very good clippers. I'm going to tell you something. The bottom line is, would I recommend them? Yes. Yes, I have no problems with these at all. Now, what I did was, as you see, I put the gold cycle blade on the black ones. And it's not, the blade that comes with this cuts just as good as the gold ones. The reason why I put the gold ones on, this one has something a little different. Pretty much, that was it. That was the only reason, just to make it look good with that black and gold. As far as cutting, I mean, these realistically, this feels so good in my hand. I haven't really put them down once I picked them up. That's about it on the XOs. Let me get this right. The Pissed Off Barber tpob XO clippers. And another thing I like about it, I love the USB charger. I like that. I like the USB charger on the clippers. Just feels good. That's the basically. But let's go with that. Now, somebody asked the other day, what is your go-to? Your go-to clippers. What are you using right now? What's that clipper that you really always use and always gravitate to? Because I've used every clipper. I've been in this business 30 years. I've used every clipper. But let me tell you something. My favorite clipper of all time is the JRL. Now, the first JRL, my first video, if you go back, my first video was on the JRL. I called them a game changer. That's how good, how much I like these clippers, the JRLs. That's the first one. I put the ceramic blade on one of them. And that's what made that a little louder, is when I put that ceramic blade on it. But when that black onyx came out, this thing right here, you can't stop the motor. It's a great clipper. It really is. It feels good in your hands. The battery life is like 5 hours. You get to a point, you put a line and you can just drop that thing down to, you got 2 speeds on it. Drop it down and just really fade out with it. This is a great clipper. It really is. I really love the JRL. Now, they say they're coming out with a trimmer. I've even seen somebody on YouTube with them, but I haven't seen them yet. But I really, when it does come out, I will get it. All right, let me explain to you what my channel is all about. I like to give you the review on the clippers because I'm a clipper head. But the main thing that my channel is about, it's not really the clipper thing. You can get that, man. You know what I mean? I give you my opinion. It's just all this. It's my opinion. Not saying it's right or it's wrong, but it's my opinion. We all have them. But I've been in this business for a long time, and I really think I know what I'm talking about, honestly. And my job is, not my job, but my mission is what I really want to do is help young barbers, because the barbering game has changed over the last 30 years. The equipment has gotten better, no question about that. Back when I first started, we had the cords. I mean, I remember cords just getting wrapped up and wrapped up and wrapped up. Your clippers might fall because your cords are tangled up, hit the ground, you break your teeth. The equipment has gotten so far better than it used to be. It's just amazing. We didn't have, like I said, we didn't have all these companies. We had like Andis, Oyster or Oster, whatever you want to call it, and Walls. That was it. Now you got all these other companies, and they just keep bringing out new stuff and new stuff. It's amazing, man. Amazing technology. Technology thing is like this. A lot of people run from it. I run to it. I love technology because the bottom line is this. If you remember the rotary phone, now you got a cell phone. Everything changes. You have to change with it. That's the pros. The cons of this industry is what has changed is that old school. Not to say I say barbering. Anybody who knows this. Anybody who cuts hair, haircutting and barbering is two different things. Two different things. Barbering is a profession. It's not just a profession. It's sometimes people say it's a calling. It's artistry. It's interaction with, it's one-on-one interaction with people. You have to be a good listener. You learn to become a good listener, a good talker. Someone said to me, professionalism and reliability. If you got those two things, professionalism, reliability, and I'm also going to say personality. I know barbers. I knew barbers growing up that did really. They was fair haircutters, but they had a great personality, and they got them over. They really did. People gravitated to them, and I watched them, and I learned. I said, you know what? I learned how to voice myself as a barber. Because like I said, when you're a barber, especially in a barbershop, you're in a barbershop and everybody's around. Man, it's almost like being on the stage. You know what I mean? People watching you do what you do. I love this profession. I really do. Now, one of the other things that I've noticed over the years is that the hairstyles have changed, and maybe because of the coronavirus time and people wasn't coming to the barbershop and people let their hair grow. Then you had basketball players and football players that kids emulated, and they just I call it, I'll be honest with you, I call it the happy to be nappy. We didn't grow up like that. When I was coming through, it was like everybody wanted to be sharp. Another thing that's missing also too is the old feel of a barbershop. Man, where is that? One thing beautiful about a barbershop, you can have people who are lawyers, you have people who's are criminals, you can have people who's a trash man, you have people who's a doctor. You can have all gathered around in that one area, and they would always, because they would see each other. Remember, you see each other like sometimes every 2 weeks to every week, so you build some type of repertoire with people. You know what I mean? And that was a beautiful thing about being a barber. Another thing that's missing, not missing, I'll say missing, but another little thing is that the younger kids, that I say that age range from 10 to like, I would say on up, realistically, they don't come to the barbershop like they used to. Remember at Easter, when kids get their haircuts and be crowded, you take a number and all that time? Them days, that doesn't happen anymore. Now, what's missing from that is this. Sometimes that little boy coming to the barbershop, the only male interaction he had was through the barbershop that he don't get no more. Check that out. Think about that. Because it was nothing for us to mentor or kids. We had moms who was to drop their kids off and be like, call me when it's time you come home. When it's time, and we would watch these kids. These kids was like, we tell them, listen, I tell Lady in the Heartbeat, you can leave your kid here, but I'm gonna let you know this right now. Understand, he will be disciplined if he gets out of hand. All right. So, but once he got the male figure, he would be like, he knew to straighten himself up. That's missing. And also, the barbershop was a part of like the neighborhood. It was a feel, you know? And now nobody wants to wait for a haircut. They want that appointment time. They want to get in. They want to get out. So the interaction and talking and this and that and the arguments about sports, politics, sometimes stuff that you ain't supposed to be arguing about was talked about in the barbershop. But that has changed. That has changed. It's something I kind of missed. But hey, what you gotta do is you gotta keep on keeping on. Another beautiful thing I like about barbering, the pro about barbering is the more you stay in this business, the more money you're going to make, because your clientele is going to get bigger, because your skill level is going to get bigger. So your younger dudes understand this. This is what a lot of young barbers don't understand, is that you got to pay your dues, man. You steps to this. You have to be patient. You have to be diligent. You have to maybe go out and find, instead of looking for the customer to come to you, you gotta have to go to the customer. You have beautiful things y'all can use. You got Instagram, you got Facebook, you have the Cut app, books. You have ways to generate clientele. And one client can generate you 10 to 15 clients from that one client. It really can. I cut a lot of women's hair. And women will see another woman's hair and be like, who cut your hair? And that right there, I always make sure I give my women clients cards, because somebody's going to ask them who cut your hair. And that's how I keep generating business, because that woman has kids. That woman has husbands. And the husband has, friends. That's how the best advertising you have is word of mouth. Remember that. Now, I'm going to wrap it up. I thank you for your patience. I thank you for tuning in and listening to me, because I know sometimes I think to myself that maybe I'm just ramping on, because I love this profession so much, man. I really do. This profession has done so much for me. It really has. For me, it was God brought me to this profession, because when I went to barber school, I went to a prestigious barber school. I went to Tri-City Barber School in Philadelphia. All right. You can look that up. Look up Tri-City Barber School. Google it. Tri-City Barber School in Philadelphia. It was founded in 1964. Let me tell you something. You didn't come out of Tri-City if you couldn't cut hair. And anybody who ever went to Tri-City will contest to that. Listen, my name is Rick Williams. Happy New Year to you. This is the Barber Experience. Please check out my page, subscribe, and give me your likes and comments. And you take care.